Morning, my lovelies. What it do, what it do, what it do. This is Planet Based, the Tree of Life, Genesis 129, aka Virgo Networks, the Animal Planet, both coming in the near future. After this present life right here comes the future, okay? Aka the Daughters of Zion, aka the Maidens and the Virgins, aka that topaz gem sapphire coming straight from that spiker star. I always have a message for you, but it's up to you to discern what I'm trying to say. Remember, I'm just outside looking into your world, see things that you just don't see, okay? But this here, the name of this is called My Perspective. My Perspective, okay? If you don't know what perspective mean, it means the way I view myself, the way I view my life, obstacles that I came across in my life, situations, circumstances, okay, and where I'm going with my future, me, okay? My future is for me, not for me and for you and for everybody else. No, you got to get your own, okay? That is with that, okay? And before I begin, let me just say this, right? I had made a post about Farrakhan's wife and all that, and a lot of people didn't like it. And let me just say this, I don't care what you don't like. If you don't like something, that's your business and your problem. They ain't got nothing to do with me. One ugly monkey never stopped the show. The show got to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, okay? So if you don't like my post about Farrakhan, so what? Who cares? That's your problem. My life don't revolve around you. I'm my own entity at the end of the day. I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like. Point blank, period. End of story. Carrying on, okay? It's somebody named, somebody commented. Her name is Sister D Murphy L. Okay, she commented. She made a lot of comments on that post, okay? And one of the comments on the post, first of all, let me just say this. I don't like typing, okay? Because typing is just too much. It's too much going on. I'm trying to say one thing, the phone and AI and all that trying to say something else and telling me what to say and how to feel and all this other stuff. And I just don't like typing, right? I'd rather do a video and talk about it, right? You have a higher understanding, okay? So she made a comment and she said, can I separate the body from the spirit, okay? And let me just say this, I can do all things. I'm not limited to another man's capacity, okay? Although I wasn't too sure where she was going with it, okay? Would she mean the afterlife, okay? Or do she mean like the thoughts and the inclinations and all that? You see what I'm saying? Or where she was going with that, okay? But to answer her, yes, I absolutely can separate my mind, okay? My body from my spirit, okay? I'm not limited to another man's capacity. I can do whatever it is I choose to do, okay? Sinning is a choice, okay? You know right from wrong. You are a grown adult. You should know right from wrong. You should know, okay? You should have common sense, but common sense isn't common, which isn't my problem, okay? I'm just speaking about me and what I got going on, okay? Because I'm on my way somewhere, okay? So therefore, if I'm on my way somewhere and I have a specific goal, okay, I need to reach my goal and my mission, okay? That's what it is with me. I have to defeat this realm right here. So in order for me to defeat this realm, so I don't have to come back and keep repeating, okay, keep being oppressed by other nations of people and keep going through all this mess that's going on, okay, it's certain things that I have to do. And separating my body from my spirit is one of them, okay, which has something to do, in my perspective, is worldly things, okay? Worldly, fleshly things, okay? Because when you entertain worldly, fleshly things, you are at a lower vibration when you entertain worldly and fleshly things, okay? So my ultimate goal is to come from out of that and more into spiritual things, okay? Because spiritual things, in my perspective, last forever. Physical and worldly things is only here for a moment, okay? 5 minutes of fame, then it's gone, and what you got after that, Okay, so yes, I can do that. Another thing is this, again, sinning is a choice. You choose to sin, okay? And not only sinning is a choice, but it's also a separation from God, okay? So when you sinning, you are a separation from God, okay? So when you stop sinning, okay, you got to stop sinning at some point at your choice, okay? Everything is your choice. Another thing is this, when she commented, she says something about all I can do is proclaim. And let me just say this, right? To proclaim is to run your mouth and talk. I don't talk. I'm proactive. I get out here and I be the change. If I don't like something, I get out here and I do something about it, okay? One thing about me, I don't complain, okay? Can't nobody ever say I complain about anything, okay? I don't make up excuses. That's what y'all do. Y'all make up excuses, okay? No, I'm out here being proactive, okay? If I want something done, I get out here and I do it, okay? Another thing is this. Before I get on out of here, either I'm this or I'm that. Either I'm godly or I'm ungodly, okay? I don't proclaim to be nothing. I am who I say I am, and I am who I am by my actions, okay? Not by running my mouth talking about this and talking about that. My actions says a lot about me and my character, okay? How I present myself online says a lot about my character and about me. How I view myself says a lot about me and my character. How I view my life, okay, and my future says a lot about where I'm headed, okay? And another thing is this, is that when you want reparations and you want things of that nature, first, before I even get with that, okay, the afterlife, a soul is forever. A soul does not die. A soul is forever. So I don't know what her religion teaches her, okay, because everybody is indoctrinated with religion, okay, and that's the worst thing for a slave, a dumb slave at that, is to be indoctrinated in their minds with religion, okay, because a soul is forever. A soul does not die. However, wherever your soul ends up at, that determines on you, okay, that determines on you and your perspective, okay. That is what that, if your perspective is negative and you're in doubt, okay, then that means you don't believe in nothing, okay? You can't die to inherit eternal life. Either you have eternal life or you don't. If you don't have eternal life, God is going to remove his spirit from the body and you're up for judgment, okay? It's going to be judgment against your soul, not my soul. I'm not up for judgment, okay? Because I stand on business, okay? People who proclaim running their mouth is up for judgment, okay? I'm not up for judgment because I'm out here being proactive and I'm not out here sinning, doing what everybody else is out here doing, okay? That is what that. Another thing is this, if you have to doubt, because her comment, just by her comment alone, and I'm not being rude, I'm not being what y'all call condescending or whatever you want to call it. I'm not being that, okay? I'm speaking based upon my perspective on her comment, okay? How I'm viewing her comment. Her comment is an indication that she probably doesn't have any faith. A lot of people can waste their whole lives studying religion, studying this and studying that, and still does not have no faith, or still does not stand on business, okay? And still isn't doing anything with themselves, okay? So her comment is an indication that she lacks faith, and not only that, but her comment is an indication that she's going to come back. She's going to come back, okay, to the earth to be in exile, which is a separation, okay? Because her comment is an indication that she's separated from God, okay? You can't live your life separated from God, okay? If you live your life separated from God, then your soul going to be separated. So her comment is an indication not only that she is in doubt, okay, and not confident with herself and her perspective of her walk of life, okay, but her comment is an indication that she's separated, okay, and not only that, but her soul is separated as well, okay, which means she's going to come back again, yet again, to repeat the same life cycle, being separated, waiting on reparations, talking about this and talking about that, instead of being the change and turning the page in her life. In order for you to move on to higher realms, okay, and to you have to acknowledge that there is a God. You have to show some respect to God, okay, and you have to acknowledge that he has a greater plan for your future, and then you have to come to the conclusion that you have to be in action in order for you to get there, okay, so you have to be in action. I was already in action before the pandemic, okay, we talking about before the pandemic, okay, I was already in action. I ain't never had no mask on my face, okay, people coming in my comment section being in doubt, that's an indication they had a mask on their face. I don't put a mask on my face for nobody. Okay, I stand on business and I take my power and my dominion back. Okay, this is my land, my planet, okay? And that's just it. I'm not going nowhere. However, this physical body represents punishment, and it represents exile, and I'm on my way up out of here. Anywho, I'm about to get on out of here, man. Again, my perspective is on my life and how I view myself, okay? Her perspective of how she viewed things is religion indoctrinated her mind is going to bring her back in oppression. My goal is to not be back in oppression. My goal is to break the bondage, okay? You got to break the bondage. You have to do that yourself, and you have to have faith. If you don't have no faith in nothing, you're not standing on nothing, you're not living your purpose, and you're running your mouth proclaiming. I don't proclaim anything. Either I am or I'm not. Either I have it or I don't, okay? Anywho, I'm about to be on out of here, man. It's that Spiker Star, the brightest star of the constellation, man. Looking into your world, seeing things you just don't see. Break your own bondage. You have to do it yourself. You're responsible for your life. I'm not responsible for another grown person's life. That is you. I'm out.